stinks here too. All of a sudden. Yeah.
And you know, where it's bearing fruit too. We're in Lambert RD Reserve in Bardwell Park. Cameron Hons has been taking a particular interest in this particular reserve. Now, part of it is quite beautiful and full of native birds, very colourful birds I must say. But Cameron, I believe something has happened over here. It looks very desolate. What can you tell me about this particular area of the reserve? I understand that the damage here, the ecological damage here, is quite deliberate.
Yes. So what happened was in 2013, Rockdale Council showed up out of the blue, and they had tree removalists, and they just had fun the whole day destroying as much as they could, and they lopped trees, as you can see here, and then afterwards they oversprayed too many things and sprayed heavily and ran around with all of these hoses to spray weed with and did it a bit too much, and then they just buggered off and left and never came back and fixed it up.
Okay, so the trees themselves, did they die a result of the poison, or were they already tampered with?
I believe they could have died from the poison because they seemed fine beforehand.
Yeah. So we're in another part of the reserve on the higher ground. Do you have any sort of admission of guilt here or responsibility from Rockdale Council?
I believe that Rockdale Council is indeed quite responsible for the damages caused here. They have been very slow to act to clean up this entire space and to help us, because ever since they left it in 2013, that was the cause of all of the weeds and damages to happen, and they never came back and fixed it up until quite recently we campaigned in the newspaper to get them to come back and help us clean up their mess.
Yeah.
And then ever since we were in the newspaper 3 years after this had happened, they finally came back and did something to it.
Okay,
but
so
it's still not good enough, really.
What about the bush regeneration project that's being run here?
Well, we've got a bush regeneration project that's been happening in this area for about a year now, and there's only about 2 or 3 people with us at every session, which is the second week of every month. And although there are about 2 or 3 people each session, we do get lots and lots of stuff done, and we have recently replanted a whole bunch of trees and bushes down at the side there to help regenerate the area. So I hope that helps a little bit.
Okay, what would you like to see done here now?
I would like to have the council replant this area, and if they can, put holes and make hollows in the dead trees to become homes for future wildlife that are native and protected in Australia, that would be allowed to come to these spaces safely.
I've seen lots of beautiful lorikeets, very colourful lorikeets,
yeah,
in this area, and you can hear them in the background now. Do you think we need to encourage more of that sort of thing?
Of course. Whenever there's so much development going on and the first thing people do is remove the trees. They don't know what kind of damage that they're doing to the environment. The birds and the animals need those trees as their homes, and without it they won't have anywhere else to live.
Yeah. So here we are, 3 years down the track. The desolation is still very evident. It's going to take a fair while to sort of rehabilitate this area. So, but it would be good to see Rockdale make some efforts here for replanting.
Yes.
And beautifying the area.
Yes, like the way it used to be before, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Cameron.
That's okay.
So, Cameron, explain to me what's happening with this regeneration project.
Well, we plan to regenerate this part of the reserve first by planting in lots of trees and shrubs to help all of the undergrowth grow back. We've been recently pulling out carpets of asparagus weed, and when we've been doing that, you can actually see the ground again. Yeah. And it's very revealing to see the ground again. Sometimes the asparagus weed grows up to about this deep, so you're pulling out carpets and carpets. We're allowing more things to grow down here. And over here the soil looks more healthier than it does over there, so you can see a significant difference.
Okay.